Natasha.
Debbie.
Show.
The show.
Welcome to it. Just two patriotic girls.
Learning about the world.
So please, don't take us the wrong way.
Hello.
Football!
You caught me off guard on
We're
that
here for
one.
football.
We are here for football.
Were you going to say something?
Hi, welcome to the Natasha and Debbie show.
Newcastle United edition. Don't you dare get mad. Don't you dare get mad if this is not
you're
your
not
team.
allowed to.
No?
Michael and Heather sent these to us. So we're wearing them. We're sporting them.
They have our names in the back.
They do it so
I'm trying to
hard
get
to
back there.
turn around.
Can you see
There
it?
you go. Yes.
Michael is probably the biggest Newcastle United fan on the planet Earth. And we love Michael dearly and Heather. And we thank you very much for these awesome jerseys.
Mm-hmm. We get to wear them around. We're going to probably have some football stuff going on later.
What?
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means. But we'll wear these with pride. So
Yes, we will.
Newcastle United today.
So thank you again.
Thank you, Michael. We love these. They're so much fun.
Before we get into today's episode,
Oh, yeah.
if you like our show, hit that like button and consider subscribing to our channel.
And if you don't like Newcastle, then send us one of your favorite teams.
There you go, and we'll wear it.
Yeah, we will. Today's episode. Okay, first of all, we have to let you know. We're pre-recording this
Mm-hmm.
a week in advance. So if you tuned in on Thursday to our vow renewal, thank
Hopefully
you.
we did well,
Yeah, that too.
and we renewed our vows.
Yeah, hopefully we went through with the thing. Maybe you.
Hopefully we both
did you
showed
ditch
up.
me?
I don't know. We'll have to go back and watch it and find out.
We didn't. We haven't recorded that yet. So hopefully that went well, and Debbie didn't. Hopefully Debbie showed up.
Hopefully we didn't stumble on our words.
Hopefully that didn't happen. And if you did show up too, thank you. But we'll be back with you guys. I think Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday.
Yeah. So we'll know then. Anyway, today's episode. Now we did a video about a year. Gosh, it's been over a year ago. Time really flies when you're doing this stuff.
Sure does.
On some of the stadiums, some of the stadiums of the Premier League in England, and that was really fun and really
those
cool
were
to look
so
at.
cool to look at, all the differences between them.
I
That was
don't
really neat.
remember a lot of them though by name, but by looks I will. This one is something I thought sounded really interesting,
Mm-hmm.
and this is actually from 2 years ago, but still, it's called the best stadium in every English county. How many counties is it? 48 per this video.
So we're going to look at all of them.
Yeah. And it's not just football. So in the description it says this video includes 4 different sports, so there's something for everyone. I'm assuming rugby and cricket. I don't know what the fourth sport
I
would
think so.
be. I don't know.
But we'll find out in a minute.
So I'm excited. Let's see what you guys think of this. Is your stadium here?
Mm-hmm. And which one's your favorite?
Ooh, true story.
Mm.
So excited to check these out. I love looking at stadiums. All right, without any further ado, it's finally time to check it out. I'm excited. The best stadiums in every English county. Does yours make the list?
After making the best stadium in every US state video, I got a few comments suggesting I do
Australian,
the same for England.
right?
A great idea. But the English counties are not as straightforward as the US states.
That's true.
There are different types of counties: historic, ceremonial, metropolitan, and non-metropolitan. I've gone with ceremonial because they're the ones I'm most familiar with. But that's not to say I'm that familiar with them. So there is of course the possibility that I did make a couple of errors, just a heads up. With that being said, here is the best stadium in each and every English county.
I'm really
Or
interested
really
in this.
just my favourite.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh.
Bedfordshire.
Bedfordshire, known for their truck manufacturing industry. I assume Bedford trucks are from here. Although it appeared in a recent video about teams that need a new stadium, I think the slightly ramshackle Kenilworth Road still takes the cake. It's a bit ugly from the outside, cramped on the inside, and as an away supporter you have to walk through someone's house to get into the stadium.
What?
Oh, wow.
But you can't deny that it has plenty of character.
Not following that part?
Berkshire, the land of confusing pronunciations. Not only is Berkshire spelt Berkshire,
Right.
but Reading is spelt Reading. Meday
We have a Reading here spelled exactly the same
We
way.
sure do.
So we get it. But yeah, the whole Berkshire thing with
Yeah.
an E.
That didn't make sense.
It's just like that whole Derby thing with an E. No, I
Yep.
don't get it. I'll never understand it. Never. 1998, 24,161. This one's cool.
Ski Stadium is sort of the opposite of the last one. Fairly modern facilities and plenty of additional features such as an attached hotel, but
Oh,
less
okay.
in the way of character. It's just a clean, simple design similar to many stadiums built in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Bristol!
No,
Okay. Hi, Bristol. How you doing? I love this jersey, and I love you, Michael, and I love Newcastle.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love, just throwing this out there, my birthday is next month.
Uh-huh.
Bristol City. Sure.
Yeah, I can't wait to see their stadium since we liked Bristol so much.
I want to move to Bristol. This is where I want to retire next year.
Let's go.
Oh boy, I'm excited about this.
for its pirate-related history. Always good to have something in common with Somalia.
Wow, weird.
Ashton Gate is a bit of a mix of the last two. It's an old stadium that's been modernised. It has the best of both worlds, to quote the great philosopher, I forget the name, I'll add it on screen if I can think of it. For whatever reason, I always like to see one stand that towers above the rest.
Like it?
The Lansdowne stand is a recent addition. Lovely ground.
Buckinghamshire.
Buckinghamshire. I don't know if it counts as a fact, but it's not where the Buckingham Palace is. Stadium MK is home to a team that gets a bit of hate directed towards them because of their controversial history.
Good size
But their
stadium.
stadium is very easy on the eye. They've used plenty of black on both the exterior and interior, which you don't often see, but it works.
I like it.
It does work.
Cambridgeshire.
Cambridgeshire, home to the Oxford of Cambridgeshire, Cambridge. London Road is a classic British football stadium, with each stand being completely
pretty
separate
cool.
and each of them built in
Small,
a
though.
slightly different style. So you're left with a tough choice. Do you want to sit in the stand that's better to sit in, or do you want a view of the stand that's better to look at?
Better to sit in.
What the hell am I talking about?
Cheshire.
Cheshire, known for their
You're
cat
doing good with your
manufacturing
pronunciation.
industry.
Trying.
Warrington has acted as a buffer between Liverpool and Manchester ever
boy.
since the Manco-Scousen War of '78. It's also prime rugby league territory, so unsurprisingly that's what Halliwell Jones Stadium is used for.
Okay.
Rugby stadiums in England tend to have a lot of terracing. Is that because a lot of the spectators can't fit in a small seat? I'm not trying to be rude, but a rugby fan probably played rugby at some point, and
We had this first time even seeing a rugby stadium like this, and we've never looked at rugby league yet. Union only.
Mhm. Yeah.
Is it that different? And if so, should we look at it? Please in the comments, let us know if you'd like us to look into rugby league. I mean, we've heard a lot of people say it's quite different, but I don't know. Is it really?
Yeah, let us know if you want us to take a better look at that.
I really like rugby union, so
Mm-hmm.
let us know if we should take a look.
rugby players tend to be quite big.
City of
City
London.
of London.
Good
Pronounced
job.
that well.
Seemingly self-explanatory, but I want to point out that it's only a small part of London. It's so small that the best stadium is probably this field. Seriously, it has a population of under 10,000.
This field. I don't know.
This
London.
greenery.
I don't know.
Oh,
This field is my favorite of all of them.
it's nice and green. It's lush.
It's lush. It's
It looks pettable.
It's in London. It's in London. If you don't know what that is, go back to some other videos.
Mhm.
It has a lovely outdoor space.
Lots of fresh air. Hmm.
Open concept is wonderful in this one.
I guess the view would be good. You know, you could be in the building.
What building?
Anyone lining around the field.
This is hilarious.
This is pretty much the closest thing to a stadium. The rest of London is coming up soon.
Cornwall.
Cornwall, birthplace of the Cornish pasty, a solid foodstuff, but I prefer the food in Pyhamptonshire myself. Menai Field is but a humble rugby stadium. The main stand seems so old that the builders probably spoke Cornish. Nevertheless, it seems like a fantastic place to watch some rugby. Quite pretty.
I like this. Cumbria.
Cumbria. Any signs
pretty.
featuring the name of this county are vandalised almost instantly. Bronson Park is one of the more unusual stadiums in England. largely due to this stand which is not aligned with the rest of the stadium. It's like that because they had plans to move the pitch, which were evidently abandoned.
Oh.
I quite like the old-fashioned stand on the other side though. You don't see too many like that.
Huh.
Derbyshire. All I
It's in
know is
Shire.
there are no significant football derbies in Derbyshire, which is, I mean, why did they even call it that then? Pride Park is a lovely take on a modern style stadium. I love the slanted roof, and just like
That's
Stadium
cool.
MK, the black and white seats just look so good. It's
Yeah,
certainly one of the best examples of this kind of stadium. Devon.
Next to Cornwall.
Ever since the county of Gavin ceased to exist, it's been the only county with a man's first name. Home Park is a great blend of old and new, and I'm a fan of all the green throughout the stadium, for which it gets the
That
nickname
one
the
looks
Theatre
cool.
of Green,
1893.
which led Manchester United to name their stadium Theatre of Dreams. They have always looked up to Plymouth Argyle. There is of course the chance that it's the other way around.
I'm thinking it is. Dorset.
Dorset. You can't just buy a front door without a back door.
Bad.
Stadium is a simple, no-nonsense stadium that's pretty much exactly the same on all four sides. The one complaint would be that it's too small for its club.
You
But
know
that's
what?
better
It
than-
looks bigger than the capacity you show there.
Yeah, it
I was
does.
actually surprised. 11,900 something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's surprisingly tiny from the aerial
Yeah.
view.
But
But
saying there's way more supporters.
yeah, I'm gonna rewind that just a little bit. Sorry. 11.3. Okay. Wow.
The one complaint would be that it's too small for its club. But that's better than it being the other way around,
That's
at
true.
least for the club's self-esteem.
Durham.
Durham. They have a nice castle.
Come on, man.
The Darlington Arena is notorious for being a bit of a white elephant. It probably wasn't a good sign that they didn't even come close to selling out the first game at the stadium.
Oh.
It's an okay stadium, but it's not the most interesting design.
I don't disagree.
East Riding of Yorkshire. I like that name. It obviously
Never heard
dates
that.
back to before
Wow.
cars were introduced to Yorkshire in the late 70s. Although MKM Stadium has a nice sleek exterior, it's all about the inside for me.
Pretty
It has
awesome.
that asymmetrical design, and those black, white, and amber seats look stunning.
Those are cool.
A bit of
I
a
like
theme developing.
Mm-hmm.
that. Sussex.
East Sussex, the home of PewDiePie. There, I gave you a shout out, now please reciprocate. It's only fair. The Amex is probably the best
that one's
stadium on
cool.
England's south coast.
That's pretty
That's
awesome.
a bit of a specific accolade, but still.
Right?
I love the way that slanted roof almost slopes all the way down to the ground at
Wow.
either end. The interior is just as nice. There are
think we
some
saw this
seagulls
one.
that are the
we
opposite
did.
of most seagulls. You'll be sitting on them rather than them. Well, you get where I'm going.
Essex.
Essex, from what I can gather, is the birthplace of fake tan. There's nothing fake about Colchester Community Stadium though. It's as straightforward as it gets. There are so many other stadiums in the country
I
with the
understand.
exact same design.
So
But
Oh,
it does the job and it's
replacing our
cost
pitch.
effective.
Now I get
When
it.
it's funded by the taxpayer, that's about all you can ask for.
Gloucestershire.
Gloucestershire. I think Hagrid is from here. Kingsholm Stadium is a rugby ground with a bit of an interesting look to it, particularly the terrace running along the northern side of the ground that's
I actually like that a lot. What is the maximum capacity for the rugby stadiums? Is that seems like it's higher? That seems like a lot of people. Is that about right? 16,000? Is that like on the higher end or eh? Here, here, or here? High, middle, or not, or low? Oh, I'm curious. I really don't know. So this is only the second one we've seen, or third.
Yeah.
So they look so much bigger when we watched rugby.
Mm-hmm.
on
They
TV.
did. Sure.
So I'm a little confused by that. Let us know, please.
sort of bends into the field. The stands have quite a few pillars obstructing the spectator's view, but overall it seems like a solid venue.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Greater London,
Is it
the
this field number
stadium
2?
capital of the world amongst other things.
Wembley.
Now this one will divide the traditionalists from the modernists, I guess. But how can I not choose Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
That's my favorite one. Okay, sorry, I got
Yeah.
excited.
That one is cool.
That was my favorite one from the video we did last
Yep.
year. I fell in love with this stadium
Mhm.
because how can you not like this stadium?
I know, it's gorgeous.
62,000 people, almost 63.
Mm-hmm.
It's freaking
It's
awesome.
massive and it's beautiful.
I wonder if he'll give us a closer view this time.
It's one of the best stadiums in the world.
Yes!
There are those that say it's just a soulless bowl.
No, it's not.
Well, I disagree. For starters,
disagree.
it's technically not a bowl, but also nothing says soul like a big golden cockerel. And on top of that, if your club is getting absolutely hammered, you can always visit the on-site microbrewery so you can follow in their footsteps.
There you go. Oh, I didn't show much.
Greater Manchester, birthplace of the man with the world's roundest head. If you know, you know.
I don't know.
I'm sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place here. Do I choose
Is that
new
both
or
cool?
old? Amenities or character?
Amenities.
Cleanliness or capacity? Blue or red?
I'm not
I
saying a
have
word
to
on
go
this one.
with
How'd you
Shut up.
feel?
I better
Stadium.
shut
There's
up.
just less negative things to say about it.
It's pretty
I love
awesome.
that roof, and it's by all accounts just a much more pleasant experience, as you'd expect given the age
It
difference.
is monstrously big.
But let me just say, if Old Trafford was given a complete refurbishment, it would be my choice.
Hampshire.
Hampshire. None of this newfangled Hampshire they have across the pond. Although there is a decent football stadium in Southampton, I'm gonna give it to the Aegeus Bowl, or the Rose Bowl as it's also known. I like the setting with the
Cricket?
forest in the backdrop. There's an
Cricket.
attached Hilton Hotel
Right.
that has views of the ground. And most importantly, there's a Shane Warne stand, because not only did he play first-class cricket for the great state of Victoria, but Hampshire as well. Herefordshire, known for their breed
how we
of
say it.
cattle
Oh.
which happen to be quite prevalent in the great state of Victoria. I see them all the time. Edgar Street is a little ramshackle at the moment, but that's not always bad. It's like taking
4,900.
a step back in time.
Wow.
I do kind of like the way the two tiers of the Len Weston stand are stacked directly on top of each other. That's due to the road that it backs onto. Hertfordshire. There's a
Like that
town here called Stevenage. That always makes me chuckle for some reason. Vicarage Road is the stadium that stands out from the crowd, mainly due to the loud colour scheme on the inside.
That's huge.
Oh, yeah.
But
What's going
also
on
the
with the
fact
colors?
that it has a stand named after Elton John, who used to own the club.
Oh, we knew
Okay.
that. We've seen this one
Don't
Yeah.
hold that against it though, it's still a decent little ground.
Isle of Wight.
Isle of Wight. It's an island. That's unique as far as counties go. St George's Park is the home of the Isle of Wight national team. Yes, they have a national team.
Didn't know that.
And it's about what you'd expect really, as basic as it gets. It is however situated in a fairly serene setting, I guess.
That is pretty basic.
Kent.
Kent.
Monster face thing.
What did you call me?
Monster face
The
thing.
Spitfire ground has a very old-fashioned look to it. Some of the stands sort of look like old plantation homes. But the ground is most
Wait, those
known
are
for the lime
stands?
tree and sort of look.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
Oh, he's right.
Yeah, sure does.
Wow, that's weird. That looks weird.
Mm-hmm. Only 7,000 for this one.
Huh.
like
1847.
old plantation homes. But the ground is most known for the lime tree that used to be located within the playing
Used to be.
area. If you hit it,
Weird.
it's a 6. If your head hits it while running back for the catch, well, you get knocked Unfortunately, that one died of tree rabies, I guess, but a new one was planted
Rabies?
just outside the boundary. It's a lovely place to watch some cricket.
Lancashire.
Lancashire. Hot pot. Deepdale Stadium is like the metallic version of Stadio Luigi
that's cool.
Ferraris.
That's pretty cool.
Perhaps my favourite Italian stadium. It also claims to be the world's oldest continuously operational football stadium.
Oh, no.
Which is
Wrexham is the oldest.
Wrexham.
Is Wrexham not the oldest? Pretty sure it is. Pretty sure it is.
We'll find out, won't we?
I don't
For
know.
sure.
No, I don't know that we will.
Well, I would think someone would comment for us. And
Oh,
let
yeah,
us
yeah.
know.
I thought you meant in the video. I'm pretty sure Wrexham's the oldest.
impressive if true.
That's
It
interesting.
looks great, and those depictions of some of the club legends on the seats is a nice touch.
That is
That's
cool.
cool. Leicestershire.
Leicestershire. Everyone knows of Red Leicester, but Stilton is also from Leicestershire, and that's a top-notch cheese.
Why are we talking?
Welford Road, unlike its football counterpart, is a one-of-a-kind stadium. Not that
That
there's
was cool.
anything extraordinary about it, but
It's
it just
different,
has
huh?
character.
Yeah.
I particularly like the Eastern Stand. It reminds me of Brentford Stadium. It's also worth mentioning that it's the largest purpose-built club rugby stadium in England.
So I'm wondering, is he taking into account like what? I don't know where he's going off. Just his favorite.
Mhm.
So like accessibility as far as parking, things like that. Getting to these places. I would, if I was making this list and I knew,
That would definitely be a consideration.
well,
Yes.
absolutely, it'd be a part of it. Let us know. Like, are some of these? Do you agree? First of all,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm hoping he's not going off just like
His
size.
personal.
Well, size alone too.
Yeah, and just size. Yeah.
Or even fan base size necessarily. It all depends what really makes the best of
Mhm.
something like this. But I think
Exactly.
there should be things like that taken into account. Like I said, accessibility.
Mhm.
Accessibility. I can't talk today. It's not a thing I can do. Let's check out Lincolnshire.
Lincolnshire. Sausage. Sincil Bank Stadium. Surprisingly, that's not a sponsor's name. Anyway, it's not the
Oh, really?
prettiest of grounds, particularly the exterior, which includes a very ugly shade of green, but it does offer a view of something quite pretty. The Lincoln Cathedral,
I'd say so.
especially at
Nice.
night time when it's lit up. On the inside, the stadium does actually look okay. Not a bad little ground.
Yeah, it's small though.
Merseyside,
Never heard of this place.
home of the world's most famous band.
It's London?
And I'm fairly sure the Beatles were from Liverpool as well.
Oh, sorry.
Even though I do like the look of Goodison Park, especially the old school interior, it just can't compete with the might of Anfield.
Oh, yeah.
The main stand has one of the best looking exteriors in the world.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite stadiums
A
too.
modern design that doesn't upset the purists. The rest of the stadium is kind of straightforward by comparison,
one in
but
there.
still pretty good.
You'll never walk alone. We love you, Liverpool.
Narnia. Some crazy stuff goes on in this county. Very little in the way of stadiums though, unfortunately.
Norfolk,
Norfolk.
land of ice cream boats.
North of
Yes.
Suffolk. Carrow Road, just like Vicarage Road, really jumps out at you with those vibrant yellow and green seats.
I like it.
Another
Yeah, it does.
distinctive aspect is the eastern corner of the stadium. That basically goes from the field straight into a car park for a hotel that overlooks the field.
This was another
And
video.
it's a small detail, I know, but I love the old-fashioned gable with a clock on it. North Yorkshire. They're not like the softies down in the south of Yorkshire. It was a bit of a toss-up, but I've gone with North Marine Road, the second home of the Yorkshire cricket team.
Okay.
To be honest, in terms of amenities, it's lackluster,
Right.
but it's over 170 years old.
Jeez.
And I don't mind the old-fashioned look. I'd imagine this is what a typical English Test cricket ground looked like 50 or so years ago. Northamptonshire, home to the home of British motorsport, Silverstone. But we're not including tracks, so frankly,
I'm loving how we get to see the surrounding area around the
little bit, too.
stadiums, so
Yeah.
you can tell whether it's has a lot of green space around it, or in a lot of
Most
these,
don't. Yeah.
no, they're right next to
The football stadiums
cities.
definitely have zero green space
Yeah,
for the most part.
exactly.
Like some of the other ones seem to.
Mm-hmm.
Like definitely the cricket stadiums.
It's just
seem to.
interesting watching that. I like.
Well, I think
seeing
the cricket
everything around
stadiums
it.
do because they're much larger
Yeah.
and they need more room, so they probably. I
That
don't
would
know where
make
I was going
sense.
with that. Did it make sense? Because I don't know what
It
the heck I
does.
just said.
And well, more people are going to the football stadiums, and you'd have them right there.
Not necessarily. But
This
then
is
again,
true.
population
so.
size or the size of the seating is higher though.
Uplands Gardens it is. It has a very interesting history. It
I don't-
started
I've
out
never
as
seen
what
this
was basically a zoo and a sports complex combined.
What?
Nowadays it's just a rugby stadium,
What's rugby?
but one of the better ones in England for sure.
Yeah.
Northumberland. It's almost Scotland, so here they deep fry almost everything. Shielfeld Park is just a few miles from Scotland. And although the Speedway might be the main attraction, it is also home to the Berwick Rangers, who actually play in the Scottish Football League system,
Seriously?
the only club from England to do so if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't know this.
Nottinghamshire, home of Robin Hood. I thought it was another chance to choose a cricket ground, but then I remembered that I'm quite fond of City Ground, and Australian cricket fans don't have fond memories of Trent Bridge.
I don't know
It's
the
a
reference.
nice location by
No.
the River Trent, and I like the
Nice.
extensive use of that lovely shade of red throughout the stadium.
I like the stands there.
Oxfordshire,
Wow, it's beautiful.
home to the Cambridge of Oxfordshire, Oxford. Kassam Stadium. Now this would have been ideal at the last location right
cool.
by the river. Instead, the stadium's three-sidedness leaves you with a view of the car park.
Really?
Which I suppose if you're a car person, you can check out some of the
Yeah, I don't like that
Hyundais
design.
and
Not gonna lie.
Vauxhalls. But the stadium's three sides are more than adequate for now.
The rest is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Rutland.
Rutland,
Really?
notoriously bad roads. Also, besides the city of London, it has the smallest population of around 40,000. And Oakham Cricket Ground is an accurate reflection of those statistics. I couldn't even find the capacity, but I'd say it's only slightly more than one man and his dog. Nice little ground though.
It's a very beautiful place. We looked at it for a moment. Shropshire.
Shropshire.
Hello to our friends in Shropshire. He's saying sheer at the end.
He is.
I'm saying, what the hell am I saying?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm wrong, aren't I?
No, I think you're right.
I have to remind myself and do the American thing. New Hampshire. Sure. Oh, crap. He's right.
Something I learnt about Shropshire is that the world's first iron bridge was built in a Shropshire town called Ironbridge. Now what are the chances of that happening?
I actually didn't know that.
New Meadow isn't going to win any design awards, it's quite basic.
Shrewsbury.
But one quirky aspect is that they occasionally set up temporary
I
seating
like
that
this one
fills in the
a lot.
corners.
Mm-hmm. Seems nice and quaint.
Yeah, Somerset.
Somerset.
I got really excited, sorry.
Well, since I mentioned Red Leicester and Stilton, I guess I have to mention that Somerset is the birthplace of cheddar cheese. I'm going to
Cheddar
go
Gorge.
with the county cricket ground. Partially because a few years ago, when
like
the
this
wicket
one.
was a Bunsen burner, they nicknamed the ground Ciderabad, which is brilliant. Although if you don't know much about cricket or this part of England, you probably have no clue what any of that meant.
I don't know any of that, man.
Exactly.
I know this much.
South Yorkshire.
Hey, Yorkshire. You know, really? Really? How many times you want to be on this list? North, south,
Every
east,
time they
west,
can.
this, that, da, da, da. I want to know all of the of all the different parts of Yorkshire. What
Mhm.
is the number one?
Cool.
I'm thinking Leeds.
Let us know in the comments.
Not like the unsophisticated chavs up in North Yorkshire. There's a lot to choose from, so this was a fairly difficult decision. But rather than having to choose between the red and blues of Sheffield, I've gone for New York Stadium, which is a bit of a different take on the often boring single-tiered bowl stadiums. It has a rather nice modern exterior and a roof that looks like a staircase.
Mm-hmm.
New York City could certainly use a stadium like this. Staffordshire. Little doggy dog. Pirelli Stadium has a very familiar design, with its combination of a brick and
I
a
like
metallic
this one.
cladding to make up the facade of each
It's
stand.
tiny, but I like it.
But most stadiums that look like this and were built in the 21st century probably don't have terraces on 3 out of the 4 sides, which is no bad thing. As they say, sitting is worse than smoking. No, that
They don't
can't be
say that.
true. Sitting is the new smoking, that's it. Still not exactly true.
Suffolk.
Suffolk. Suff of Norfolk. Portman Road is one of the better examples, in my opinion, of mixing old
That's
and
pretty
new
cool.
architectural styles.
Yeah, I
You can
dig this.
clearly see that some stands were built a lot earlier than others. One dates back to the 50s. But it's not jarring at all. It just works well together nicely, inside and out.
Nice shaded area up there, too.
Surrey. It's where the Magna Carta was signed, which, if I'm not mistaken, got rid of the death penalty for sneezing in public. Kingfield Stadium is a little unusual, being made up of mostly very basic, small stands.
I don't like
But
it, I'm
to
not
the
gonna lie.
south, they've obviously saved up and bought themselves
Very
a
small.
nice modern grandstand. Which does make the stadium a little lopsided, but it really tidies up the place. Tyne and Weir. 2 rivers for the price of one.
He's
And
funny.
it actually has 2 very similar lopsided stadiums within its borders.
You better pick it.
However,
Yes!
it has to go to St. James's Park. Half of it is quite basic, nothing you haven't seen before.
I was going to turn this off
Exactly.
if he hadn't picked St. James's Park.
This stadium's pretty cool.
we can now watch it.
But then the other side is twice the size. And
'Cause
that
it's
huge
awesome
translucent
anyway.
roof that covers it is glorious.
Yeah.
I believe it's the biggest of its kind.
Too fast.
Warwickshire. Literally the home
Whatever.
of rugby. Oh, Shakespeare was from here as well.
No.
But as far as stadiums go, it's slim pickings. So why not go with the rugby school itself? Not much in the way of seating, but very picturesque.
Interesting. That is pretty.
Interestingly, not only did rugby begin here, but the inventor of Australian rules football studied here. I guess they had a course on creating football codes.
The
West Midlands, home of the Warwickshire County Cricket Club, oddly enough.
Whoa.
Quite a few county cricket clubs play in different counties.
Okay, that's the coolest cricket.
Probably has
stadium.
something to do with the historic counties I mentioned
Wanted to see
earlier.
it. Birmingham.
I'm giving it to Villa Park. It's a lot of people's ideal football stadium.
Wanted to see
With
the
its
other one.
classic design including a grand brick entrance, 4 individual stands
Yeah, I
more or
like
less,
that one.
Yeah, I've never seen
and
this
its
one.
elegant interior done up in the club's famous colours, you can see why it's popular.
Of course. West Sussex.
West Sussex, where Rolls Royces are made. The People's Pension Stadium seems like a nice place to watch football, although it does have its shortcomings. Particularly the Eastern Stand, which basically has a tent for a roof.
Oh,
It's
really?
more like one of those gazebos you see at a farmer's market.
It actually does.
It's an
Yeah.
okay ground, but certainly not the Rolls Royce of stadiums.
Huh.
Well, West Sussex might have Rolls Royce, but West Yorkshire is known for its rhubarb production.
I love
I
rhubarb.
was tempted to go for one of the Siamese twins in Leeds or Allen Road, or maybe even Valley Parade. But I think the unique design of John Smith's stadium gets it
that
over
was
the
pretty
line.
cool.
Have we seen this before?
Not
I don't
just the
remember this.
design
Never
though, it's
remember
also
this
in
one.
much better condition than its Leeds and Bradford counterparts.
Freaking cool.
That is.
Nice to have that wooded hill in the backdrop as well.
Yeah? That's cool. Wiltshire.
Wiltshire. I'm sure
Wiltshire,
it's a
whatever.
fine county, but I just hope their stadiums are a step up from their non-sport related architecture. And although Stonehenge has a lovely stone exterior, County Ground puts it to shame. Proper roofs on 3 out of 4 stands, one of which is a cantilever roof, whereas all of the roofs at Stonehenge are the old-fashioned type with pillars holding it up.
He's funny.
County Ground
I like
has ergonomic seating. Stonehenge just has some rocks. I don't know why it's so famous.
I concur.
We end
Worcestershire.
with Worcestershire.
Shire,
Everybody's
whatever.
favourite name to mispronounce in a humorous manner. Of course, that is when referring to the source, because not many people outside of England talk about the county itself.
Worcestershire.
It was a tough choice to overlook Sixway Stadium, but I'm a sucker for a picturesque cricket ground, and New Road is exactly that.
I dig this one.
With the beautiful St Andrew's spire in the backdrop.
You know what's messing
That
me
is
up though in the
nice.
cricket ones? The cricket grounds? They're not a perfect circle. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
You were thinking it too, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm used to our baseball stadiums are typically circular, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not perfectly circular.
I know.
And I have OCD and it's like I wanna
Fix it.
can I just
We
straighten
need
this?
to make this even.
Let's fix this right here. Okay, I'm done now. Sorry.
And one bonus is that quite often it can double as a swimming pool, because the entire ground is prone to flooding
Oh,
being
that's not
located
good.
right by the River Severn.
Well, that's not cool.
Design flaw.
And that's it for today's video.
Well, that was fun as heck.
That was very fun. I like
Um,
that he threw in a lot of fun stuff, information,
Yeah.
little
He's funny.
corny little things in there, but they were still fun.
I know like I said, we've seen not quite a few, a good amount of those we saw on the one from last year. Tottenham. Did I say that right this time?
I think he did.
That's still my favorite
Yeah,
of
that
all
one
of
was
them
pretty cool.
because it's just freaking cool.
It is.
That was so much fun to learn and seeing the first time seeing rugby and cricket stadiums.
Yeah, seeing them
Yeah.
all mixed in together
Yeah.
and just seeing the difference in how big they might be, the capacities that they would hold. That was
Yes.
interesting to find out. And then just the general location as to whether they're located in the city or more on the outskirts, I guess you would
Right.
say.
I love that he does put up like the capacity and stuff like that. That helps you
Uh-huh.
get an idea. It throws me off seeing some that have like very little to no stands though for the fans. It throws me off. I'm like, where do they
Yeah.
go?
And it always seems like the away team has very little stand.
I think that's intentional,
area.
Debbie.
I think it is, but I
It's
think
partly intentional.
it's just that fascinates me. It's kind of interesting.
I think it's funny too. But let us know. Did your team make the list? Your team? your stadium or team, right?
Mhm.
Did it make the list? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What would you add in? What would you take away? We don't know. That's
yeah,
why
is there
we're here.
something that wasn't on the list that we should take a look at?
Oh yeah, true. That'd be great. That'd be great. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. And again, Michael and Heather, thank you again.
Yes, thank you.
This was a lot of fun, and I really do love learning about sports in general. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll be back with another episode of the Natasha and Debbie Show
That's right.
very soon. So until then, please, as always, guys, love like jazz.
Be as strong as Tyson.
Bye-bye.
Bye.